It's finger licking good. Hey, Jess, I got smell like a dead polecat.
Hello, you pasty-faced bloodsuckers. I'm Cullen Bunn, and I'm back again with a number of horror trivia questions for you. This week, we're going to be talking about a classic, vampires. So I've got a number of questions for you. I hope you enjoy them, have fun with them, and see how you do. Question the first. In Fright Night, the original Fright Night, not the remake, Roddy McDowall was a horror host / vampire hunter. What two iconic horror actors was his character named after? Next question. How many vampire clans represent the vampires in the role-playing game Vampire the Masquerade? Now, we're not counting, if you're really into Vampire the Masquerade, we're not counting the Sabbat or the minor bloodlines. How many major clans represent the vampires in Vampire the Masquerade? Let's go back to the source. In Dracula by Bram Stoker, Mina's friend Lucy is interested in finding a husband. She has 3 suitors. What are their names? Next question. In The Midnight Show, written by yours truly. It's a comic I did with Brian Hurt and Bill Crabtree for Dark Horse. In The Midnight Show, a forgotten and cursed movie is aired, and it summons these iconic horror movie creatures, Dracula among them. What was the name of the movie that summoned those monsters? And as a bonus question, who was the actor who portrayed all of those monsters in The Midnight Show? Next question. Name the 3 actors from Aliens who played vampires in the movie Near Dark. And here's a weird one, but another bonus question for you. What word was never uttered in the movie Near Dark? All right, are we ready for some answers? Well, here we go. In Fright Night, what 2 iconic actors were the inspiration for the character that Roddy McDowall played, or at least his name? That's Peter Cushing and Vincent Price. Peter Vincent, vampire killer. I do think it's also interesting, and I should have done this as a trivia question. I was reading about this movie, and it said that Chris Sarandon, who played the vampire Derry Dandridge, decided that Jerry was part fruit bat, and that's why you see him eating like apples and fruit throughout the movie. Part fruit bat. Who knew? How many clans were there in Vampire the Masquerade? There are 13 main clans. I'm not going to name them. I think back in the day when I was really playing Vampire the Masquerade, I could have rattled them off immediately. But I think even the names of the clans have changed over the years. But anyway, 13 main clans. In Dracula, Mina's friend Lucy has 3 suitors. What were their names? It was Arthur Holmwood, who was this nobleman. It was Quincy Morris, who was an American, and in the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie, he was the guy who had the cowboy hat and the nice mustache. And Dr. John Seward, a psychologist. All right, in The Midnight Show, what was the name of the cursed movie that summoned all these monsters? It was called God of Monsters. And then the bonus was, who was the actor who portrayed those monsters in The Midnight Show? His name was Basil Saxon. That wasn't, however, his original name. When I wrote the script originally, his name was Algernon Baskerville. And we figured out it was too long to fit on the marquee really well and look right. So we shortened it for aesthetic purposes. Although I still like that name, Algernon Baskerville. It's pretty cool. Name the 3 actors from Aliens who played the awesome vampires in the awesome movie Near Dark. That's Lance Henriksen, Jeanette Goldstein, and Bill Paxton. Now, I just read that Michael Biehn, also one of the stars of Aliens, was originally considered for the role of Jesse Hooker. That's the role Lance Henriksen plays. And I think Michael Biehn's awesome. I'm glad Lance Henriksen played Jesse Hooker. I just can't imagine someone else playing that character. And again, one of my favorite vampire movies. If you haven't seen it, it can be a little difficult to track down. Definitely difficult in physical media, but I think it's streaming on some places you can rent it. It still has what I consider one of the greatest scenes. There's a scene in a honky tonk that is one of my favorite scenes in any vampire movie ever. And what word is never uttered in Near Dark? Easy one: vampire. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the questions. I hope you did well. I'll be back next week with some more questions. Thanks, everybody.